Yeah. My granny called, she said, Travis, you work too hard. Don't worry, you forget about me.
Fantastic Four First Steps is unfortunately pretty disappointing for me. Hey, if we haven't met yet, my name's Logan Porter. This is my channel where I talk all things Marvel, movies, music, just kind of anything that I want to talk about and that I'm interested in. I love to make videos on it, so glad that you're here. Thanks for clicking on the video. But I'm a big Marvel fan, big MCU fan, and I was really, really excited for Fantastic Four. This year has been one of my favorite years in quite a while for Marvel movies. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I really, really enjoyed Captain America Brave New World. Loved Thunderbolts a ton. So I was really hyped for Fantastic Four. I think it was the biggest Marvel movie in a long time, especially coming out in July. That's prime movie season. And there's just a lot riding on this. I believe that Marvel thinks that these are going to be some big characters moving forward. I was really looking forward to the vibe and the aesthetic of the 60s retro universe, and I was really a fan of the casting. Not necessarily Pedro Pascal going into it. I think he's a great actor. I just wasn't very sure about him as Reed Richards for casting, but I was pretty excited going into this movie, and I can't help but, after I saw it, just feeling a little like let down, just a little disappointed. So before I get into what made me feel this way, I do want to celebrate the movie, talk about what I did like. Like I mentioned earlier, I was looking forward to this, and it ended up being great. Was the setting, the set design, the vibe of this retro futuristic 60s was so creative and fun. It was just a great world to explore and be in. I think Matt Shakman did a really great job of separating his movie from the rest of the MCU, doing something fun and original and just different, and it was a cool change of pace that I really enjoyed. The cast was great. I really enjoyed the characters themselves. I think everyone did a great job, and I know I mentioned that I wasn't really a fan of Pedro Pascal's casting as Reed Richards going into it, but actually, if I'm being honest, coming out of the movie, he was my favorite character. I thought he did a really great job. I feel like he captured Reed Richards really, really well, and just made me a big fan of that character. And like I said, he was my favorite character coming out of the movie, but I think everyone did a great job. I think that the story was really cool. I thought it was really interesting. It was just a cool, interesting, compelling story that was able to bring up some cool dynamics and dilemmas that were fun to explore. Now, the reason I found Fantastic Four First Steps overall to be kind of disappointing is I felt like this is Marvel's first family. That's what they're known for. They're known as being a family unit, and their relationships are really what make them shine. And personally, I just feel like we didn't really get that in this movie, and if we did, we didn't get enough of it. I felt like we were so focused on the story, the plot, moving that forward, going, that there wasn't really enough time for pockets to enjoy and understand these characters as a family. Like, yeah, there's the great scene with Sue and Reed when they're up late at night because Franklin won't go to sleep, and that dialogue is great, but it was so short. We just went past it like so quickly. I felt like I was not invested in Sue and Reed's relationship whatsoever. I was not like the movie's telling me that Ben and Reed are best friends, but they have like no moments together. Like, all I'm looking for is those little pockets and moments. Like, they can be serious, they can be funny, but just things that make me care about them as a family. Things that make me believe that they're actually close-knit. Like, I just felt like the whole time the movie's telling me that they're close, telling me that they're a family, telling me that this is a great relationship. But I didn't get to really see it and enjoy it because we're so focused on getting to the next story beat, the next moment in the plot. And the story is great, but the pacing was so incredibly fast. And I usually never have that complaint in a movie, right? Like, I'm not necessarily a slow burn movie type guy, but for some reason, I did not enjoy the fast pacing in this movie. It just felt like they only cared about the story, and the characters were just kind of left, we'll figure it out later. Now, thankfully, the actors do really great job. Joseph Quinn, Evan Moss-Bachrach, Vanessa Kirby, Pedro Pascal, all great. And I'm really looking forward to them in Doomsday and just the MCU moving forward. I think they really can be pivotal and great, enjoyable characters that Marvel really needed. They needed characters that people could latch on to because they haven't had that post-Endgame really. And I think they could be that. I just feel like they would have been bigger, better, more popular, more prominent. Like we could latch onto them right now rather than more in the future if they just explored it and had moments in the movie. Like, and again, the moments they do have, they just kind of breeze through them. They don't let it breathe. And I like the end of the movie when they're trying to buckle in the car seat. Like that is the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Sweet, funny moments that show the family dynamic. You know what I mean? And to me, the thing that's the most frustrating is we have a blueprint for what a perfect Fantastic Four movie is. The Incredibles. The Incredibles highlights the family dynamic at the forefront. Like the little moments where, like the moment where they're trying to get to the city because there's a giant robot, but they're arguing about, oh, you should take this exit. Don't miss this exit. Like those are silly family moments within the midst of the overall story. We're still able to invest in these characters. We're still able to move the story and the plot forward. It's still funny. There's still heartfelt moments. There's a great villain. Why did Fantastic Four? I'm not saying copy and paste, but like honestly, a great reference point is The Incredibles. Phenomenal pacing, all the things. We just have it right there. And I know it's not original or whatever to just borrow, but they just did it the best. The Incredibles is the best Fantastic Four movie out there. And I just wish they would have taken more inspiration for how to kind of handle all those different elements together, is just my personal opinion. Overall, though, I still enjoyed the movie. It was still good. I just think it could have been a lot better, and it just ended up being kind of disappointing. But what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Did I get it completely wrong? Am I so off, or am I spot on? Do you agree with me? Let me know in the comments. And also, if you have any prayer requests, anything I can be doing to partner with you in prayer, anything I can be believing with you for, just let me know in the comments. I would love to do that. Deuce, homies.